Alright guys, welcome back to another one. 10 gauge buckshot part 2. Now I've been looking forward to this video for quite a while since we did the last 10 gauge video. We got some really cool loads today that I'm going to cover. Some awesome patterning stuff with 4 different powders: Longshot, IMR Blue, Blue Dot, and HS6. The HS6 and what's the other one that performed so well? I believe it was the Blue Dot. Performed really well. Now we did fire a quad buck load with little gun too, 3 ounce 16 pellet quad buck. I accidentally deleted the after when we go to the patterning board and look at it, I accidentally deleted that video, so that my bad. That's totally on me. I didn't mean to delete it, but I'll be honest, the load did not pattern so well. It was still a fairly decent pattern. Probably, I think it was 20-inch spread on it, but could have been tighter. I'm thinking that the choke we fired it through, which was the Kicks 685 GT choke, was just too tight for quad buck, and it did open up the pattern on that one a little bit. But those are 3 ounce loads moving 1200 FPS, so quite a stout load. Probably could have used the factory full choke that Browning includes with the gun. It's a BPS 10. But one thing I need to talk about is I had thought that I'd forgot to resize a couple holes maybe, and where the gun's new, I thought that maybe it wasn't broken in so well, and that's why the holes were sticking in the chamber just a little bit. They weren't so tight, but a couple times I had to rack it on the ground just a little bit to get them out of the chamber, but discovered the real issue. Okay, I have 2 mech 10 gauge resize rings that I use with the Lee press, and this piece of PVC pipe here to resize my holes on the Lee Loadall. This one's converted to 10 gauge from a 12 gauge kit. Now, I have 2 other 10 gauges. I have one here sitting next to me. It's an H&R slug gun, 28-inch barrel cylinder bore, rifle sights on it. Now, this gun and my other 10 gauge, it's also an H&R, same gun, but 36-inch barrel full choke. The chambers on those 2 guns are a little bit, just a few thousandths bigger than the Browning's chamber. So, what I've done, because the first 2 10 gauges I had were the H&R, so I had bought a mech 10 gauge resize ring, and later on ordered a 410 resize ring, and Ballistic Products accidentally sent me another 10 gauge resize ring, and then corrected their it was a mistake, but I don't care, it's fine. Stuff happens, I understand. They let me keep the 10 gauge ring and sent me the 410 ring, and I noticed with the Lee press it was really hard to resize the holes with the mech 10 gauge ring on the Lee Loadall. So what I done was take sandpaper and a socket that fit in the ring, and I opened up the resize ring just a few thousandths to make it easier on me to resize the holes. This one is unmodified, right from the factory. So this one right here, it doesn't resize the holes all the way back down to factory specs, which is fine out of the H&Rs, since it does have a slightly larger chamber. No issues, but the Browning has a little bit tighter chamber, and I didn't use this ring, and that's what was causing the holes to knock them out of the chamber, because the holes right from the get-go, these are all once fired holes that I used, were not factory spec. They were just a few thousandths larger. So what I've done is, these are the holes we fired in the video, 6 out of 7 of them. I resized the holes with this ring first, and then a second time with the factory spec ring. And I've re-ran them through the gun. Perfect. No issues ejecting whatsoever, or extracting, I should say. So that was the issue with that. It's not a new gun issue. It's not me forgetting to resize the holes. It's the ring that I used to originally resize these holes were, for my H&Rs it's fine, but for the Browning, it doesn't fully resize them. And I have put white tape on this one to remind myself that this is the one that I modified, and that one's of course factory. So that explains that issue. One other thing is we had a load, I believe it was 2¼ ounce Longshot load. That load I was using the max powder charge, and that opened up the spread a little bit. Still a great pattern. We were at 40 yards. Josh did say that we were at 30 yards a couple times in the video, but that's because before we started shooting, like filming, we had set a bag at 30 yards because we had originally planned on shooting at 30 yards, then realized we had plenty of room to shoot back farther, so we shot at 40. We could have gone to 50 if we wanted to, or even 60, but we shot at 40 today. So he incorrectly said 30 a couple times, which is fine, but we were at 40 yards for every shot today. That clears up all that, but like I said, I was using the max powder charge for the 2¼ ounce Longshot load we fired. That did open up the pattern a little bit, but like I said, still a good pattern. For 40 yards, it'll get the job done. It had the spread that most people would probably like at 40 and 50 and 60. Good coverage, 28-inch, 24-inch spread, something along like that. I can't quite remember, but good pattern. Wasn't as tight as the first few and the last load that I fired, or not the last, second to last. That Josh fired actually. Wasn't as tight as that, but that's fine. Let's get to loading up some hulls. We're going to start with these Remingtons. I'm going back with all Shadot primers in these loads, because that's what I had down at the range, was all Shadot primers. I've already got them resized. That's how I discovered the sizing issue. Alright. This one was 31 grains of Longshot, the X10X gas seal, a BPD 10 wad, 4 pedals, 3/4 cut, 1/4-inch fiber cushion wad, 18 pellets of double-aught, mix number 47 buffer. This one was the max powder charge that spread out a little bit more. You guys that like a little bit wider patterns at extended range, this one's for you. Get my scale on, my Longshot. .32 grains. This one's running 1250 FPS. 32. Double check it. 34. Aha, that's why you always double check your powder loads. Unless you're running a super accurate scale, which this is not a super accurate scale. There's my 32 grains. Yeah, I really should invest in a higher quality scale. This one's giving me no issue, so I'll upgrade down the line. X10X gas seal. A little bit tight to get in there. And guys, I'm taking the primer door off my press and putting it over the primer seating station. That way, the punch is not contacting that primer. It's sitting against the flat surface. It can't go off. Now, sometimes you'll see me completely forget to do that, like an idiot. But that's okay. This one, BPD 10 wad. These are unslit. So, using Gary Caskey's wad slitter. This one's 16 gauge. Also works for 12. But it does pretty good in 10. It's a little bit uneven sometimes, but I'm okay with that. Slit it right down. 3/4 cut. 4 pedal. That ain't so bad. It's fairly even. I got one pedal right here that's a little bit thicker than the rest, but I can live with that. Like I said, this is a 16 gauge wad slitter. I just use it for the 10 gauge hulls because of convenience. It's a lot faster than using a pocket knife. Yeah, 3/4 cut, 4 pedal. We're gonna need a fiber cushion wad, about half of it. Just put it in the bottom of the wad. After we get it into the hull, which I have seemed to... There it is, yeah. I really should set my wad guide on my press for 3.5. And just use the press to seat these wads, but that's okay. About forgot to use the primer door. Awesome. 18 pellets of double aught buck. Mine are tumbled and powder coated. These stacked by twos in here. Yeah, even in a 10 gauge, the 33 caliber double aught, full grown double aught is a little bit too big for the full length wads to stack by threes, but they stack by twos. This one's not cooperating. There we go. It's 4, 6. Oops, drop one. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 pellets right to the bottom of the crimp. We're using, is that it? Nope, that's my ITX buffer. Where did I put, there it is. Ballistic Products mix number 47 buffer. There's 2 scoops. I think this requires 3 full scoops. Yep. 3 full scoops of the Lee 2.2 cc dipper. My friend Zach just invested in the full set of these dippers. They're only $14.99. I'm probably gonna pick me up one too. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is the modified 12 gauge Lee load-all that I've done up for 10 gauge. If you want to know how I did that, go back to the video I did on this press, the 10 gauge conversion. It was one of my early videos. Not the best, but gets the idea across. The pre-crimp station is completely unmodified. Awesome. Does a pretty good job. Like I always say, it's not as good as a mech, but it gets the job done. Like I said, if you guys like a little bit wider patterns at extended ranges, that's the load for you. Give me 1 second, we'll move on to the other ones. Okay, this one is pretty much the same load, except we're using IMR blue instead of the Longshot, and this is an 18 pellet single aught buck load. It's just a 2-ounce load. Again, Shadot primer. This was IMR blue, right? Yeah. We used 39 grains of IMR blue. Matt, I can't thank you enough for this powder right here. This is discontinued. I cannot get it anymore. Thank you so much for sending me this IMR blue. You've actually given me quite the sizable amount of it right here. That's going to keep me, with the blue powders, that's going to keep me going for a little while. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. 39 grains. 37. Should be 39 right there. Yep, bang on, 39. Old ibuprofen bottle. My wife had she fractured her pinky toe a couple of years back, walking out the back door here behind the camera. Slipped because it was wet. I think she fractured her pinky, so they gave her some 800 milligram ibuprofen, and that's what the bottle is, in case you guys are wondering. Where's my, there it is. X10X gas seal. Oops. I just ripped one of the pedal, or the crimp folds, but I'll load it anyway. These Remington hulls are a few years old, and they've been fired. I know they were twice fired whenever I got them. At least twice fired. So, plastic on them is a little bit worn out, a little bit crispy, but these Remington hulls are my favorite 10 gauge hulls. I also really like the Federals, but these Remingtons, they're something else. They're longer by 3 millimeters than the Federals, so you can actually put a full 3-ounce lead load in here with Buckshot and still fold crimp it. Just throwing that out there. These hulls have a lot of capacity. Now, Remington also makes higher base wad 10 gauge hulls, but these are the low base. Another BPD 10. Again, I'm using Gary's wad sliter, 3/4 cut, 4 pedal, fairly consistent again. Actually, that one's really consistent. Can I actually get a 3.5 on here without yeah, I can't get it on there. I drilled a 3rd hole in the 12 gauge wad guide towards the bottom of the wad guide on the back side of it, and that's the proper height for 3.5 inch holes. And the 12 gauge wad guide, 10 gauge wads go right through it, no problem. Because there's not a huge difference in size between 10 and 12 gauge, it just works. This wad's tight to get in there. There we go. That was tough. Now, I say 1/4 inch. It's probably more like 2/5, maybe. Something like that on the wads. And yeah, these are 10 gauge fiber cushion wads, but what I'm doing is just tearing a chunk off, cramming it down the bottom, using my primer, seating punch to form it to the bottom of the wad. Now these BPD 10 wads are, they're pretty much straight wall wads. They have a slight taper towards the bottom, but nothing like the TPS wads. 18 pellets of 31 cal single aught buck. Again, tumbled and powder coated. You're better off just, not better off, but you should tumble them at least. You don't have to powder coat them, especially not in these full length wads like this. Again, these won't stack by 3s even in a 10 gauge wad. They're still not big enough to stack by 3s. You can stack by 3s the 29 caliber number 1 buck though. I don't have any 30 cal. I don't think that'll stack by 3s in here either. 6, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 pellets right to the top of the wad. This one might need an overshot card. Mixed number 47 buffer. I already know I need 3 scoops of it. Actually, this one might need a little bit more than 3 because the pellets are smaller. Or, I mean, they take up a little bit less room in the hole. They don't come up as high. No. 3 scoops did it, and doesn't look like I'm gonna need an overshot card either. You guys ever seen 10 gauge hulls with a 8-point crimp on it? I've done that. Not bad. Again, not as good as a mech, but it works. This hull has been fired so many times that the bottom of it right here, where it meets the brass, is just starting to give away a little bit, starting to get soft down there. But that's okay, still loaded up fine. Alright, which one we doing next? One of these Winchester dry locks. No, Josh was right. No, it is dry locks. Okay. It says Super X, but down here it says dry lock. He wasn't wrong when he said Super X. 21 pellets, 29 cal. This is also a 2 1/4 ounce load, I think. Yeah, 2 1/4 ounce load. 32 grains of Longshot. This one's another max charge for a 2 1/4 ounce load. So let's get the load that one up. Again, Shadot primer. need 32 grains of Longshot. $26, 32. Yep, 32. This one's using a TPS wad. Now, the TPS wads that were in this when we fired it were unslit, 3/4 cut, 4 pedal, and I'm out of those. That was actually the last few I had. That's what I shot out of these hulls. These are pre-slit, and they're all the way down at the bottom. Probably won't make too much of a difference, but I really do like the 3/4 cut the best. If you guys seen the 835 video, those patterns are at 50 yards. I mean, whole hand. I mean, every one of them pellets covered with your hand, aside from the 2 or 3 fires in each load. Hard to beat. And those were with 3/4 cut, 4 pedal. TPS wads are taller than the BPS. You do not need a the gas seal with it. Comes right up to where it needs to be. Some fiber cushion. That looks like that might be enough. Could use a little bit more. We'll know when I put the pellets in. That looks good, actually. This had 21 pellets of 29 cal, number 1 buck. All again, tumbled and powder coated. These are purple. Mixed blue and red powder coat. 1, 2, 3. Yep. These stack by 3s, real easy in the wad. I'd show you, but they'd roll out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And that comes up right to the top of the wad. I'm trying to show you. Don't want to spill them. This one, it actually does need an overshot card. We'll figure that out once we get to it. Number 47 buffer. I know what I used. It was a 24 gauge nitro card. 1 section off it. That's what I used to hear. The TPS wads, they actually hold the same capacity as the BPD-10 wads, but these are tapered wads. The BPD-10s are pretty much straight wall, but they are shorter. But they hold the same capacity. Oops. Alright. Let me grab a nitro card real quick. Actually, I have these 10 gauge nitro cards. We'll just use that instead. Tear it in half. They split in half real easily. Just crimp it right on top. It looks just like that. It's right where it needs to be for the crimp. That was pretty much straight up. The crimp was pretty much straight, so I pinched it in a little bit because that is way easier to get it up inside the pre-crimper right here, pre-crimp station. Awesome. These hulls crimp really nice on the lead load all. But if you're using the SP10 wad or something thin like that, just be mindful these hulls are thin and they do crush easily. But if you're using a full length wad like the TPS or BPD-10, you ain't got to worry about it so much. That one is a very nice crimp. This press was not originally meant for 10 gauge like at all. To get that nice of a crimp on here, this originally being a 12 gauge press, not bad at all. Moving on to the other one. This one had 37 grains of HS6. This one was the tightest patterning load we had. I believe it was 6 or 7 inches for 15 pellets, I believe it was. We had 3 flyers. This was the 18 pellet load, right? Yep, 18 pellets of single lot buck. We had 3 flyers. All other 15 pellets, I'm not kidding, you'll see it. Josh could cover the palm of his hand, covered, I believe, all 15 of those pellets. This load was so tight. Shadot primer. I'm trying to rush this one along. I don't want to eat up a lot of time. Like the 835 video did. I did not intend for that loading segment to be so long, but it did. Which one? HS6. 37 grains of HS6. $34. That should be 37. 35. 37 grains is the max charge for this too. It's 1165 FPS. You could back it down to probably 34 grains if you want 1120 FPS, which would probably pattern even better. Another TPS wad. Again, these are pre-slit. Really hard to get in there. So y'all loaded 3 shells with 1 fiber cushion wad. And that's why I don't buy these in any other gauge but 10, because you can rip them apart and load them in any other gauge you want, even in 410. I'm remembering to use this today. Let's see, 18 pellets of single lot. Grandfather clock again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's 18 right there. Okay. Again, right up to the top of the wad. Gonna use the mix number 47 buffer again. Oh, I mentioned earlier, I have 6 of the 7 holes. The 3-ounce quad buck load, we tried just for the heck of it fold crimping that. It was roll crimped. We would try to fold crimp it on his Hornady. No, it's not a Hornady. It's a Herder's Model 6 12 gauge press. It's just a copy of a mech, and because I was thinking the 12 gauge pre-crimp station crimps these 10 gauge holes fine. I figured the Herder's would possibly do it too. No. Nope, it just ripped it. So, that hole's gone, unfortunately. Plus, you guys have watched me load that load probably 3 or 4 times on this channel. I'll tell you what the load is. It's 45 grains of little gun next to next gas seal, 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad, 16 pellets of this 38 cal quad buck, whatever buffer you want, bingo chip or overshot card, whatever you want to use, and roll crimp. Awesome load. Not for the recoil sensitive. Another great looking pre-crimp. Awesome. Another really nice looking crimp. Winchester dry lock holes. I like them a lot. They are shorter than your Federals and Remingtons though. I think they're actually 84 millimeters, if I remember right, 83, 84. Same length as these Shadot holes. They're the shortest 10 gauge holes. The black Winchester holes are too. I have them down here actually. Yeah. This one says Supreme Heavy Steel, HV Steel. I assume that's heavy steel, but this is the same hole, but black. Alright, there's that one. We got two more. One of them is a roll crimp, so save that one for last. This one was 29 grains of Longshot, TPS, quarter-inch fiber cushion, 21 pellets of 0 buck. That's single lot. And mix number 47 buffer. It's kind of hard to read. Alright. That should be number 1 buck. Yeah, it is number 1 buck. My bad. Just hard to read. Again, shit primer. Yep. What was this again? I already forgot. 29 grains of Longshot. I know a full scoop of this is 29 grains, but I can't quite get a full scoop of it. Bottle's running empty. Okay, I got 3 more back there. 31. Overshot it a little bit. 29. Where'd my lid and my Longshot go? There it is. Alright. TPS. Wish I had more unslit ones, but that's okay. Got it. All right. Now we need 21 pellets of this 29 cal number 1 buck. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's supposed to be stacked by 3s, but it's stacked by 2. That's okay. It'll work. Stacked by 2. Just so. Mix number 47 buffered. One more scoop. I can already tell this one's going to need overshot card. Right there we go. So let's grab me another one. Again, cut that in half. Ooh, give me some trouble. There we go. And that's going to bring us right where we need to be. Now these Federals, they pre-crimp beautifully on this thing. Very nice crimp. Awesome. What I usually do if I don't feel like switching the press over to the 10 gauge, well, I'm just going to use this as an example. What I'll do, if I'm using the 16 gauge press or the 20 gauge one, I'll set the primer door right here, and I have a mech 10 gauge crimp starter up here. Set that right here, and I'll use that to pre-crimp it. Then I'll take the 10 gauge roll crimp tool, set it back over the hole, and I'll use the front pre-crimp station to fold crimp. That works too. But obviously using it like normal is a lot easier and faster. Alright guys, we got one more. This is an 18 pellet double lot load inside a full length wad, which is why it has to be roll crimped, because you would never be able to fold crimp it. Again, shut-eye primer. This one had 40 grains of blue dot. Where's my blue dot? Right here. This is all the blue dot I have. It's in a Tylenol bottle. Friend Zach gave me 500 grains of it. Thank you, Zach. I have not been able to find Blue Dot in the 2.5, 3 years I've been loading. It's been the one powder I cannot get a hold of. 48 grains. Overcharged that one by a lot. This is a 2 1/4 ounce load. This is max powder charge for the 2 1/4 ounce load. There's your 40 grains, your TPS. Fiber cushion wad. Give that some compression. You can't really see it, but there you go. 18 pellets stacked by 2s. This load is actually 2.2 ounces of lead payload weight, but we're buffering it to bring it to the 2.25, 2.27 area. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, and 18. Now, see why we have to roll crimp this? But I had a room there. Now I had it, obviously, there. That's why we have to roll crimp this load. I think Federal is loading their 18 pellet double lot loads conventional. But mine are obviously in a full length wad. One more scoop. Actually, just a little bit more. That's gonna do it. I could use this as the overshot card, but I like bingo chips better. The brown and the purple, I think, go really well together. And the plastic obviously gives it a much better seal than the whatever this is made out of. Cardboard, thick cardboard, I don't know. But plastic obviously will give a much better seal. Roll crimp it. We're using the Ballistic Products 10 gauge roll crimp tool. Where's my oil? So over here. No, I can't find it. Anyway, it should still have some oil on it, yeah. I don't know where it went. But we're gonna roll this. Not bad. A little bit more. Ow. I dropped it. But, well, I cracked the bingo chip, but that's okay. I can add some clear nail polish to it. Actually, I'll probably have to open that back up and replace it, but you guys get the idea. I put too much pressure on it. And oh no, I broke my nail. Oh God, it's actually bleeding too. Awesome. Anyway, that's going to end the loading segment, guys. Enjoy the video, and you'll hear me go on about the hull, resizing the hull thing, and the new gun issue I thought it was, but nope. Like I said earlier, it's just the resize ring issue. But enjoy the load, the range section. All right, guys, I got a new howitzer today. Browning BPS 10, 28-inch barrel. The guns are bottom eject, which is pretty cool. The other side of it. This makes my third 10 gauge. Probably not going to be the last. There goes that gun. That's okay. We got a Kicks GT 685 constriction in it. Full disclosure, Kicks did send me this choke for us to demo. Alright, pretty excited about this. This is literally our first shot with this gun. We're running a 3.5-inch Remington hull. We got 31 grains of Longshot, X10X gas seal.
the BPD10 wad, 4 pedal, 3/4 cut, 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad in the bottom of the wad, 16 pellets of double aught buck, 33 caliber, and mixed number 47 buffer, Shadot primer.
Stretching her out at, I don't know, roughly 40 yards.
Yep, about 40 yards away. I'm not expecting too much recoil. This gun is like ridiculously heavy. It's so soft shooting.
That's awesome. Let's walk down here and take a look at this pattern. Now we did forget the tape to cover the holes. So we're probably going to have to take sticks through them or something so we can tell, but anyways. How many pellets you say that was? Well, no, not really. There's the pattern.
I can't see it yet. A guy in a purple shirt. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'll have to tape measure over there, but from here to here and here, that's the widest parts in it. Looks like the wad may have smacked right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I probably missed one right there.
15, 16, the 2 lower holes.
Oh, yeah, right here. 15, 16. I didn't even see those. It's probably there to there. 16-inch spread. That's really good.
Yeah.
Kicks 685. GT. We got awesome patterns in the 835.
Come on, focus.
With a 680 constriction, the Mossberg 835 was giving us super tight patterns, and that's every bit as good. We just found the wad. It did not impact the cardboard like we thought it did, but it looks just like the wads we find out of the 835. Has that star pattern on the bottom of it, and it was about halfway between where I was shooting and the target. Pretty cool.
Alrighty guys, for the next one, it's another 3.5-inch Remington Hall. This one's loaded with 39 grains of IMR blue, X10X gas seal, BDP 10 wad with a 4-pedal cut, 3/4 the way down, 18 pellets of single aught buck, and mixed number 47 buffer.
Just a note, I forgot to resize these Remington holes. That one I fired got stuck in the chamber, and it went over here in the creek behind us.
Once again, roughly 40 yards, or 30 yards I mean, sorry about that. Let's see what it does, kind of excited. Aha!
Came out?
Yeah.
Brass looks great. Primer's still round. Crimp looks great.
Alrighty guys,
Awesome.
That was my fault. I shot a little high anyways, you know, the group, part of the group went over, but we do got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think 11, 12, 13. I don't know if I counted that one or not. I think 14 to 18.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's not as good as group as this one was, but still, it's right.
Different powder, different group. We'll try a blue dot load next. Okay, this next one, 3.5-inch Federal Hull, once fired. What I done is the curling iron trick and straighten the hull back out to roll crimp it. It's got 40 grains of blue dot, TPS wad, 3/4 cut, 4 pedals, 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad, 18 pellets of double aught buck, mixed number 47 buffer. I'm going for the center. I see the wad right in the middle of the field.
There it be.
I guess that wasn't.
Hey look guys, another wad. It's that one that's halfway out in the bottom. Once again, them kicks cut a very unique pattern onto the end of them. I'm pretty sure it's stripped the wad, but About 100%.
Okay, very tight core out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
That's pretty good.
2 1/4 ounce load. That's a 60-yard load all day.
Yep.
That core pattern right here, I can
Size of
cover
a
with my
grill.
hand. That's really tight. You got 2 pellets right here almost touching each other.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next. Alrighty guys, this next one's once again something a little different. This one's 37 grains of HS6 TPS wad with a 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad in it. 18 pellets of single lot buck with mixed number 47 buffer. 3.5 inch Winchester Super X haul.
Dry lock.
Huh?
That's a dry lock haul.
Is it?
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna hold, you'll see when we get down here, there's 2 flaps that come out. I'm gonna hold center of the bottom. Just because it's starting to look like a porcupine up top. But that's where my hold's gonna be. We're gonna see what it'll do, I suppose. I'll tell you what though, that bottom ejecting load is kind of weird to get used to, honestly. Not having a big bolt moving on the sides.
When this comes out, rack it out towards the field as hard as you can, so let's see how far it goes.
Alrighty. See if I can't hit my cheek again. Ah!
Oh man.
It was stiff, but like I said, this is a brand new gun.
Yeah, it's a brand new gun.
Alrighty guys, HS6 is the slowest moving load that we fired so far, and as you all know, lead does not like to go above around 1200 feet a second. It really starts to deteriorate the pattern. This one here was running like 1150. And other than the exception of 1, 2, and if he moves over here to where you can see it, 3 flyers, they're all right here. And there's multiple that's basically touching. But anyways, that was 18 pellets of, I believe, single lot. And we've got 1, 2, obviously 3 over there, 4, 5, that's a double, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I think I counted that one already, 17, 18. I think there was 19 in that one, bud.
Yeah, it was just 18. One of those, that's not a double right there.
Is that not a double?
No.
Oh. All right, then. Well, that's 18 anyways, right there. And
Covers every single one of those with his hand.
yeah, 15 of them anyways, right there. 16, 17, then 18, 3 flyers. And that one really is a flyer. It's way off her.
But that's an unbeatable load.
Yeah,
That's just as tight as the 835.
Yep.
Kicks, you guys make a good choke.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Again, Winchester 3.5 inch dry lock haul, Shadot primer, 32 grains of Longshot, TPS wad, 4 pedal, 3/4 cut, 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad in the bottom of the wad, 21 pellets, it's 29 caliber number 1 buck, and mixed number 47 buffer. Here we go. God, those pellets hit hard.
Yeah, that sounded like a 12 gauge load.
Yeah. Oh man.
Guys, this gun is brand new. This is
They're not stuck in there hard at all. Just
No.
tight enough to where I can't pull it out by hand.
right. This thing's had, I think that's like the 7th shot ever put through it.
Yep.
It had 2 through it whenever he got it.
Show you the hull. It looks excellent. Nothing wrong with that breast at all. Primer looks good. Crimp looks good. It's still smoking. I wouldn't advise doing that. Okay, we got a little bit wider of a spread that time, but it's still not bad at all. I believe we got every pellet on target. I'm gonna try to count them. 1, 2. Actually, you wanna take the camera for me?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I count that one? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like we got 16 or 21 on it. Not quite sure what happened with that load, but it's still a good pattern.
Alrighty guys, enough of the little loads. This one's a full power 3 ounce. Kind of not looking forward to it. But anyways, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. This one's 45 grains of little gun, X10X gas seal with a 1/4 inch fiber cushion wad. It's a 16 pellet of quad buck, mixed number 47 buffer, roll crimp, Shadot primer,
Yep. 38 caliber
695
pellets.
choke instead of the 685.
Yeah.
Still a kicks GT, still at roughly 30 yards. I guess let's see what happens. Go ahead and stand into this one a little bit. Oh boy. Well, I hit where I wanted, and it also hit me.
Those are going 1200 FPS.
Ain't it funny it ejected that hot load better than any of the other ones?
Okay. Maybe the gun's finally starting to wear in a little bit.
Good boy.
Focus. It ain't gonna focus, but everything looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we swapped over to the 695 GT. We're running 29 grains of Longshot, TPS wad, three-quarter cut, 4-pedal, 1/4-inch fiber cushion wad, 21 pellets of single-aught buck, mix number 47 buffer, fold crimp. Still stuck in it. They're just barely stuck in there.
Yeah. I feel they went a decent little ways over through here. Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh, there it is.
That's pretty good from over there.
Once again, the haul looks awesome.
I like how they put the little bird on
Alright,
it.
you're gonna have to excuse our crude way of counting these. There's just so many holes, so many sticks, it's hard to tell at this point, but from here to here is the pattern. That might be 20 inches, maybe 22, but majority of them's right here. I'm just gonna pull these out to count them, I guess. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, come on, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh,
Just for you wondering, he ain't pulling random sticks out. He sat here and broke off a bunch of green
right there,
green brush.
it's that. They're not sticks.
Yeah, the other ones are just old dead pieces of brush. He put green ones in there so he can tell the difference.
Now
He ain't
these-
just pulling random ones.
Right, now that these, whatever this is out of there, you can actually see the holes a little bit better. I mean, this core group right here is all within an 8-inch circle. That's an awesome pattern right there. We did have a few flyers, but that's okay. The super tight core right here.
We'll do better on bringing stuff to patch the holes,
Yeah, we weren't
guys.
prepared. We usually use tape, but what can you do?
Do wanted to shoot and figured we'd make a video.
That's my bad.
Yeah, well.
Okay, this is just single lot buck. I'm gonna fire it into the water down there just to see what happens. Too heavy to one hand.
That was just a double A load.
Aw.
Okay, I just made it back home. Pretty worn out, guys. The heat here in Kentucky, where we live today, was pushing 100 degrees. It was absolutely miserable outside. We were both just rolling sweat. Pretty brutal. We had planned on firing more 10-gauge loads, but we stopped at like 7, I believe it was, because it was just so dang hot outside. We had also planned on filming 16-gauge Buckshot Part 3, but obviously we gave up on that one pretty fast. But a different day, we'll get it done. We'll also do more with the 16-gauge, I mean the 10-gauge, but I just wanted to get on here and say a big thank you to Kicks for sending me the 685 Constriction Choke. I reached out to them and I asked them what they recommended for the Browning BPS 10. That would be the equivalent of the 680 Constriction and the 835 that we have. They recommended the 695 Constriction GT Goblin Thunder Choke, so that's what I bought. And then I checked my email, my spam folder, because it went to spam. Thanks, Yahoo. Let them know that I had ordered the 695 Constriction, and they told me real good job with my the 835 video. So I was like, hey, if you guys got anything you want me and Josh to demo on YouTube, we will, because not a lot of people are doing anything with 10 gauge, buckshot wise anyway, on YouTube. And I was like, well, me and Josh want to change that. We're huge 10 gauge fans. So they sent me the 685 constriction, and that's what we used for the majority today. We did fire a few loads off camera with bird loads and stuff like that, because we just wanted to see what all the choke could do. And quite impressed by it. Now, they didn't send me any money or anything. I'm just saying this because I'm a huge fan of these choke tubes, and the people at Kicks, Chuck, was who I was talking to, emailing back and forth. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Me and Josh both do. We got some awesome patterns with this thing right here. Also really like the 695 constriction, the 680 that we have in the 835. They're all wonderful. These things are ported. They also do, just like the manual says, it helps with recoil a lot. Now, the 10 gauge, being such a big, heavy gun, all three of them I have, they don't really kick all that much. Well, I like recoil anyway, but still, they just don't kick all that much. My wife fires my 10 gauges and has no issue with it. But even with the 835, it's a relatively lightweight 12 gauge. That thing hardly has any recoil either, especially with the Kicks chokes in it. They're ported like this. Muzzle brakes. They're effectively muzzle brakes. And that's just awesome. And not only that, they look awesome in the guns. They just look awesome. And that's not just me saying that because they sent me the choke or anything like that. They didn't pay me anything. I'm just saying that because I honestly am a huge fan of their products. Now, they do make buckshot chokes too, the butt kicker, and I plan on picking up a few of those down the line. But so far, really impressed with the GT chokes. Wonderful things. So again, thank you guys at Kicks for sending us that to demo. You guys are the first people that have ever helped me and Josh. So we are really thankful for that. But I guess that's going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in to the next one. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. Again, thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Kicks, for helping us out.